friends, and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. In today's Plan With Me, I am planning for the first full week of September, September 4th through September 10th. I'm using a kit from my Etsy shop, Life in Envelopes. This is September 223. This is one of the kits that I've been most excited to use, so I'm so glad to be using it today. And right now, in the Etsy shop, we are running a sale. It's a Labor Day sale, and it started last night. So it's going through Labor Day. So today is Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you can save 20% off your Etsy shop order. And that's just a flat 20% off across the shop. You don't need like a special discount code or coupon code or anything. Everything is just marked 20% off. So it's nice and easy for you. So I thought I'd start today by answering a couple of questions that keep coming up over and over again, which is totally fine. I just think people really want to know, and I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability today. They do involve, both of them are about my divorce, so if that is a triggering topic for you and you need to log off now, I totally understand. Normally I would never ever ask you guys to log off, but I don't want to upset anybody, and if hearing about divorce is upsetting to you, then go ahead and log off, and I'll see you again in the next video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first question that people want to know is, did David cheat on me? So I really wish that I could tell you the whole entire story. Unfortunately, it affects many people. Not only does it affect David, but it also affects our kids, like Jacob and Logan. And we're mostly concerned about Logan because he's our youngest. And David and I have agreed that we are not going to discuss the specifics of what happened that caused our marriage to end. There was a major event that happened this summer that caused the end of our marriage, but it's not the entire reason why our marriage ended. It was just the final thing, that happened that just brought everything to life. But anyways, the point is I'm not going to answer the question about did David cheat on me or not, because it's not in the best interest of my kids. That's why I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, and then the next big question people want to know is, where am I going to live? And this is such a great question because I think a lot of women, unfortunately, stay in bad relationships or stay in bad situations because of financial stability or the fear of financial instability. And that was, I will be honest, that was a huge thing for me too. Like, despite what, deciding what happened was that there's no way this marriage can continue, there was definitely a lot of thought. There was a lot of thoughts like, oh my gosh, how am I going to live? Where am I going to live? How am I going to afford rent? How am I going to afford anything? Because I'm already so tight on money as it is. And now we're talking about cutting down my income to half and possibly losing my house and all that. So the fear is very real of why people, both men and women, stay with people they stay in a partnership that they don't want to be in because of the fear of money. So I think this is a very valid question, and I totally get why people are asking, and I have no problem discussing it with you. So let's talk about that. So I would say that I'm very lucky to be in a situation where my ex-husband and I are getting along just fine. He was never abusive. And we were never the kind of couple that yelled and fought and screamed. We always got along really well. We always talked things out and tried to work our problems out. And we were kind and respectful to each other. And we've always been that way, and we're still that way. Because we do have a good relationship in that way, and the most important thing to us is raising our kids and making sure that they're healthy and happy, we have decided, with the help of our lawyers, to come up with a plan where we can live in the same house until Logan turns 18. So this is beneficial for all of us at this point in time. It's beneficial for me because I don't have to worry about finding another place to live right now or how I'm going to afford to live where I'm currently living because I'm still splitting everything like I was before. And it's helpful for David because he also doesn't have to go find somewhere else to live. It's extremely helpful for Logan. It's actually what Logan wants very much, is for us to all just live together in one house. And since we get along, we've agreed that that is something we can do. So when I first decided that I wanted a divorce, that was not my plan. It was not my plan to stay in this house with David. But after looking at all the options, that's what we've decided it is the best thing for us at this point in time. Now, we did make an agreement with our lawyers that if at any point in time one of us wants out, we want to sell the house and move on and no longer live together, we do have the option to give the other person a 6 months notice. So, for example, if David decides he wants to move out, he can give me 6 months notice, and then that'll give us enough time, hopefully give us enough time to get the house on the market and sold. That's the idea. 6 months should give us enough time for that. I don't see that happening unless there's only one circumstance where I could see that happening. And that is if David starts a new relationship that becomes serious and he decides that he wants to live with that person or marry that person or whatever the case may be. I could see him wanting to move out then. Otherwise, I'm not planning on ever dating again. I have no desire to be married again. I'm really enjoying being single and living my life for myself and making my own choices, and it's so incredibly freeing, and I have no desire to be back in another relationship ever again. So in my mind, the only reason why that would happen is if David were to meet somebody and move on, and he is interested in doing that. He is interested in meeting somebody. So that is a possibility. But until that happens, we have decided to continue to live together here. So that's going to be very helpful. I still feel like I need to make more money because there are certain things I would like to accomplish in that 6-year period of time. Like I would love to get all of my debts paid off during that 6-year period of time. I also the way it works is when the divorce, actually from the point where I filed the paperwork, any debts that we had at that time were going to be split 50-50, but any new debts that are acquired after that date are all any new debts that I acquire are my responsibility. Any new debts that he acquires are his responsibility. So anyways, the point is I want to have more money, more spending money to do the things I want to do in life. Like, for example, I would really like to travel a little bit more. Not like anything crazy, but I would really like to travel a little bit more. And I'd like to be able to buy new clothes and buy new shoes and go and take Logan out occasionally, take him to a movie occasionally, go out to eat occasionally. I'm just on such a tight, strict budget at the moment that I would like to have a little more money. So that's something I'm currently working on. I have a couple of ideas of how to bring in extra income without getting a job, because I've been looking at the jobs almost every day. I go online and I look at the full-time jobs that are available near me, and I look at the part-time jobs that are available near me. If I were to get a full-time job, it would be really nice because I would have a set income, because right now my income is variable, and I would also have health insurance, which I currently don't have. So that is very appealing for me on one hand. On the other hand, I would have to give up homeschooling Logan, and I honestly don't even know if that's a possibility at this point in time. Because we're still dealing with his medical issues. If I have a full-time job, but I keep getting called away from that job to go pick him up from school because he's not doing well, then I would probably lose that job. In addition to that, I've thought about this, whether I had a full-time job or a part-time job, I would probably have to decrease what I'm doing for the Etsy shop. Not give it up completely, but decrease the number of kits I'm making. And I'm thinking, for sure, I would keep all of my Budget Mom products and my Universal, but everything else I would have to really think about whether or not I wanted to keep those. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to give up anything in my Etsy shop. I don't want to stop homeschooling Logan. So because of that, I'm going to try really hard to instead look at options where I can work from home. Like I've been looking at some different tutoring options, like teaching English as a second language from home through the computer. I'm also thinking about one thing I would really like to do is make some products for teacher pay teacher. I have so many ideas that I would like to share. And I mean, I'm passionate about it too, and I'm interested in it. So it'd be really fun for me to create those products. And on one hand, I think, oh my gosh, when would I find time to do that? Like just thinking about the way my schedule is currently. But I definitely feel like I'd have more time to work on that than I would to actually leave my house and do a job part-time. So it's just a matter of like finding the time in my schedule and putting it on my schedule. That's my thing. Like, I can't just have an idea. I have to actually schedule it if I want to actually accomplish it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So if I want to actually accomplish that, I'm going to have to find time each week and carve out that time and set that time aside just for this new endeavor. So I think that's the way I'm going to go, the teacher pay teacher. I also want to invest more time and energy into my second YouTube channel, which is The Rookie Reader, where I share what I'm reading and how I feel about it. Speaking of that, I have finished the book All Good People Here, and I have to say, I think last time I came to you guys, I told you I think I know who the killer is, and it turns out I was wrong, and I'm glad because I didn't want him to be the killer. But there's a huge twist in the story that involves him, and I think that's where I was getting the vibes of where he might be the killer. That's why. So I wasn't completely off, but I was wrong. He was not the killer, somebody else. And I finished that book, and it was a really good book. I have some mixed feelings about the ending, and I would love to talk about that, but I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. So I'll just keep that to myself, but just know I have some mixed feelings about the ending. Okay, so so getting back to extra streams of income. So there's two more places I can bring in streams of income. My second YouTube channel and teacher pay teacher. So I want to spend some time working on that this year. So that's it for like big life updates. I did want to share with you, I have recently been watching, I want to say ER, but it's not called ER, Grey's Anatomy. I've recently been watching Grey's Anatomy. I started watching it this summer. I started with season 6 because I heard, or actually the season finale of season 6, because I heard it was such a powerful episode. So I wanted to see what happened. So I started there, and then I watched from there all the way through season 18. I just have it playing in my office all day long while I'm working, and it's a good show. I mean, I enjoyed it. I easily got through all the way through season 18. And then I went back and I started on season 1 because I wanted to catch up on the things that I hadn't seen since I started with season 6. And oh my goodness, you guys, I'm currently on season 3, so I've watched the first 3 years of the show. It is such a good show. I mean, not that it's a bad show later on, but it's not as good as it was in those first few seasons. I haven't seen season 4 and 5 yet, so those may also be really good. But I have to say, those original episodes with the original cast is so good. Okay, so let's talk about these plans. So this is my favorite layout. I have tried so many planners with so many layouts, but I just love the vertical layout with the 3 categories for each day. And the way I break it up is I use the first row across the top there. That is where I put my the biggest things that I want to accomplish for my job, being YouTube and Etsy. So that's where I put those tasks, is that first row. And then the second row is for everything involving my family and my personal life. So if I have a hair appointment, I'd put it there. But for example, this week I have homeschool Monday through Friday. We have Fun Friday on Friday, grocery trip on Saturday. I have 3 Zoom calls this week. I have one at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and 2 o'clock on Thursday. And then Logan he's starting D&D club this week. He is so excited. He has been asking to join a D&D club for years, and I haven't been able to find him one. I finally found one at our public library last year, but I could never get him in. It was always booked right away. They only had so many slots available, and we were never like lucky enough to get in on time. So I'm so glad that he gets to do that. He's doing that through the public middle school. He's dual enrolled, and what that means is he's homeschooled, but he's allowed to take any class or club or any classes or clubs that he wants to take at the public school. And the only club he's interested in is D&D, and he's not interested in taking any classes there. So he's going to start that this week. He's so excited, and I'm so excited for him. And then he still has his normal teen space on Thursday nights. So this is pretty much what our weeks are going to be looking like going forward, except that on Mondays, he will also be leaving the house and be going to our homeschool like co-op for Spanish and art. So he'll be gone for 2 hours on Mondays, and but that doesn't start till next week. So that's why it's not on the calendar this week. So our schedule is super busy. It's so full, but I think it's good. I think Logan's going to have a good year. One of the challenges with homeschool one of the challenges I have found with homeschool is making sure that Logan has enough social time with his peers. So he's going to get lots of social time with his peers this year, and that just makes me really happy. I want him to have those chances, and I think it will help him to practice socializing with peers for when he goes to high school, because that is the plan. He wants to go to public high school full time once he's in high school. Then in the bottom row there, that's where I do my YouTube schedule. And I'm currently doing 3 YouTube videos a week, and it feels really good. Like, I really like the videos that I'm doing, and I feel like it's not overwhelming. Like, they're very doable, and I enjoy making them. So I think I'll probably stick with this schedule for a while. I'm really liking it. So on Tuesdays, I do a savings challenge, like a save with me video, which is super fun. It's just, I love games, and it's games with money and savings. So what could be better? Like, I really like that. And then Fridays, I want to share my plan with me, which is what this video is. And then every Sunday, I am sharing my vlog, and I'm trying to share more than just what I do in my Etsy shop, and share a little bit more of my life with you guys. And I'm also been experimenting a lot with different kind of like filming techniques and angles and sounds, and I'm just having a lot of fun with it. So I hope that you guys will check out all my videos, including the vlog. This week's vlog was super fun. One of the nights I went out to dinner with Beth, and then she surprised me and took me shopping for more stuff for my bedroom, because I recently redecorated my bedroom, because when it became just my bedroom, I redecorated it, and she just helped me by getting a few more things to make it a little more girly and a little more fun, and that was really fun. So I hope you will check out this week's vlog to see that. I also share my PM routine because it's been really helpful lately, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I will see you all again next time. Bye, everyone.
I would say we were good together. I would say we had fun, but our trails will never run forever. Something else is on your mind, like everything that's good in life always comes to an end. We're letting go, drifting apart. There's no use trying to pretend, and I know that it's over. Got the look on your face. It's too hard to explain, but the worst is